too shy to say a word, but I hope you love me too. Na 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 na, 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 na na na. I love you so, but I don't know how to let you know. Beep 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 beep, it just means my love is deep. Baby dum 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 dum, means my heart beats like a drum. Got a tummy full of butterflies when I look into your eyes. Beep beep, and finally you know it. Dum dum, without you my life is incomplete. Beep beep, now I wanna show the world. Dum dum, my love for you is so deep. Beep 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 beep, it just means my love is deep. Baby dum 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 dum, means my heart beats like a drum. Beep 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 beep. And on the beaches we are all bunny jumping, and with our feet we all stomp to the beat. It's bunny party, bunny baby, shake your booties, and we are singing to the sweet melody. J J J J J J, sing with me, it's bunny party. J J J J J J, we bounce to the